Imagine this. You've just spent the last 4 weeks crafting the perfect brand identity for a brand. The hard work pays off as the client loves your work and has 0 revisions. You then provide the client with the design files so they can begin using their new brand identity and you can get paid. However, a few weeks later, you stumble upon a social media post of theirs and find that they're using the wrong font, mismatched colours, and the post looks a mess. This causes you to panic since it reflects poorly on you as a designer, and you don't want potential clients to think this was your design. You're left wondering, what should I do? In the past, when this happened to me, I blamed the client. But in reality, it was my fault. I didn't have an offboarding process that equipped the client with the tools to correctly use their brand identity and educated them on the do's and don'ts and the importance of it all. But now I do have a process in place, and in this video, I'll show you the 3 strategies I've incorporated into my offboarding process so you can prevent situations like this from ever happening to you. The first strategy comes into play once the client signs off the project. Here is where the offboarding process begins, and instead of just providing the files to the client, I first compile a brand guidelines document. Now, I'm sure most of you already do this, but the first strategy isn't the document itself, but what's included within it. So let's walk through one I previously put together for a client so you can see exactly what I include. So the first section provides an overview of the brand foundations, including the mission, purpose, values, personality, and voice. Now, this breakdown allows the client to easily reference their foundations, ensuring they adhere to their strategy and incorporate key elements like personality into their marketing copy. Now, if the client hires someone such as a copywriter, this section will also be useful for quickly providing context and an understanding of their brand. The following section presents the logo suite. So this part of the document breaks down the brand's logo variations, explaining when and how to use them, along with clear space guidelines. Now, this guidance gives the client a clear understanding of the appropriate usage for each logo variation. So for instance, the document specifies that the logo type is intended for widespread use, while the other logo variations have been designed for specific use cases. Now, the next section addresses improper use of the logo suite. So this section is included to help clients avoid misusing their logo, as in the past there have been instances where clients have made minor alterations to their logo, such as adding a stroke. The fourth section discusses the color palette. So first, to provide the client with the CMYK, RGB, and hex codes. Now, this ensures that they're using the exact colors chosen for their brand across their website, social media, and marketing materials. Next, I demonstrate the colors in action. So this is crucial because just providing color codes isn't enough. So without proper guidance, clients might combine colors incorrectly, resulting in unreadable materials. Now, this section guides the client on which colors to pair together, ensuring that their color selections result in legible marketing materials. The following section covers the brand's fonts, including their names and guidelines on when and where to use them. It also provides additional information on how they should be used, such as tracking or all caps. Now, similar to the color palette section, it also showcases the fonts in action to provide context on how they should be used together, as well as their application areas. On to the next section, which covers the brand's assets, and again follows the same pattern of the previous 2 sections by providing examples of their use cases. And the last section includes mockups. Now, I include this to provide more examples of the brand in action, and it's never a bad thing to give too many examples for a client to follow. Now we've gone through my brand guidelines document, and you should have a better understanding of the first strategy I implemented into my offboarding process to prevent clients misusing their brand. See, the first strategy is based on providing guidance and context to the client on how to use their branding, not just through telling, but also showing. The brand guidelines document does a great job at that, but there's a problem. This document is hefty, and I found that many clients stop using it after a few months because it seems too time-consuming to reference. To solve this problem, I had to implement a second strategy. This involved creating a simplified version of the brand guidelines document. So this condensed version packs all the essential points from the original document onto a single page. And as a result, clients became more likely to stick to their branding, and it was all because of the second strategy, which was to make it easy and convenient. So the streamlined sheet eliminated the need for clients to sift through numerous pages, therefore reducing the effort required to check if they're following the guidelines. So up until now, my offboarding process provides the client with guidance and context on how to correctly use their brand through the full brand guidelines document, and provides an easy and convenient alternative for everyday use through the brand guidelines sheet. However, there's still a missing piece to ensure clients have everything they need to implement their new branding. But before we delve into the third strategy, if you're looking to instantly transform your offboarding process, the brand guidelines documents we've just gone over are available on my website as templates. You can use the first link in the description to get them. Anyway, once the files have been packaged up and the brand guideline documents created, I schedule an offboarding call with the client. During this call, I do 3 things. 1, I review the brand guidelines document with the client to ensure they understand everything. 2, I explain the importance to adhering to these guidelines. 3, I answer any questions the client may have. These 3 steps are a result of the last strategy I incorporated into my offboarding process: education. This call allows me to educate the client on the significance of a cohesive brand and why it's essential to follow the guidelines. It also provides them with an opportunity to ask any questions they may have about using their assets within their visual identity. In this video, we've gone over the 3 things I added into my offboarding process to ensure clients can confidently and correctly use their branding. But if you want to learn how I land high-paying clients in the first place, then you need to watch this video here, where I go over exactly how I went from a struggling, underpaid designer to one who now earns 6 figures a year from their design work.